Hey everybody, PsyStarcraft here with a real 1v1 for once. Not going to be vilePsY versus vileSpanishiwa or vilePsY playing as Terran against vileCook or anything like that. It's a real 1v1. It was a practice game. It was not played in ladder. You can tell by the green color and the purple color over here. But it's on a new MLG test map. I was online. I was streaming Sunday night or Saturday night, and I decided to play some fan games. And here we are. I am vilePsY in the right, the 246 position as the green Zerg, and my opponent is LaGTTNoMi in the west position. Looks like about 8:47 and 26 seconds position as the purple Protoss. Now this map is a new MLG map. It's a test map. I think it's still in the testing phases where they see if it's really if it's worth it, if it's a good enough map. And from the looks of it, it's very cool. As you can see on the right side of the map, it's very ashy, it's barren, there's lots of volcano, little tiny geysers here, some fire sprouting up everywhere, trees look very dry. But then when you cross the middle, after you go past this altar, it's nice and lush and green and very beautiful, and it's the kind of place where you want to go and like have sex under a waterfall down here with yourself. So very cool map. I like the scenery of it, and of course, like any other map, there is a choke leading up into your main, natural expansion, third expansions, and the golds are usually in the middle, but it looks like on this map they are kind of towards the corners with 5 patches each instead of 6 patches each, so that's pretty unusual. And a rich Vespene geyser, so that's extremely important. While it's not the same resource yielding as 2 normal Vespene geysers, you need 3 less drones to saturate it, and it grants you 6 per carry instead of 4 per carry. So it's actually really good for Zerg. Zerg like places that you can get a lot out of with as few drones as possible, just because they make drones and units out of the same building. So a spawning pool is going down, a pool first, and as you can see, I did have my drone out here, and that was just try to bait a pylon, try to bait something to make him think that I'm doing something that I'm not. And you know, he didn't fall for it. I think if he did fall for it, he'd be getting a forge here and trying to cannon out my expansion anyway. So good job there reading my fake. And oh, I think he was trying to throw it on an assimilator. Did not happen. Able to steal his assimilator, his gas. And the cool thing about this is it really narrows down his tech choices. He's not going to be going starport or DTs or any heavy type of gas play. You can almost expect that. And if he does do that, it's going to be a little bit slower at least. So I really like taking gas when you can. Most Protoss will block it as soon as possible. And when the Cybernetic score is about halfway or so, that's when Protoss want to get their geysers anyway. So very fun. As you can see here, after my first 100 gas, I did pull my drones off of the gas so I can start getting a lot of minerals, drone up incredibly hard, and also take this expansion as you're about to see here. Now we are seeing 4 Zerglings. Some players will opt to get 2 Zerglings, some will get 6 or 8 Zerglings. I like to just kind of go on the low end or in the middle. 4 Zerglings is a pretty solid number to get. Now this gateway is producing a sentry, but I'm going to beat on the gateway until the sentry is out. Warp gate's on the way. Notice his zealot does not want to come out here. He doesn't want to let me in the base to see anything that he might be doing. And these probes, oh my goodness, these probes are actually taking down this extractor because he can't send his zealot to let my Zerglings in. Now he can send his zealot over and just kind of block off the wall or something. Actually, that probably wouldn't be a good idea. I don't think the zealot would be able to kill it in time. So these 4 probes wasting all this mining time beating away on this extractor. Already the extractor paying for itself. Not only by denying his gas, but by forcing those 4 probes off. And you know, Protoss really need that gas, so I don't blame him for pulling those probes off at all. I don't know if it's a common thing or if it's really worth it, but nice to see. Oh, and he gets surrounded! Lings with the fast speed, able to surround the probe when it wanted to build a nexus. He's now floating tons of minerals because of that. And that's why his early speedlings are so fun. This is the earliest speedlings you can get while maintaining an economy. And I was able to snipe a probe. I'm able to get some scouting in, almost losing one, and now backing off while he is expanding behind 2 sentries and a zealot. So that was a single gateway expansion. A lot of players will go 3 gateway expansions and build up a couple more sentries before they do expand, but Lag not going with that route. He's going to be going 1 gateway expand, much more economical. However, he is vulnerable. If I were to produce about 12 Zerglings right now and attack with 16 or so Zerglings, he'd be in pretty bad shape, so very ballsy maneuver by him. Now if we check out the units count, I'm still at 4 Zerglings, 31 drones to his 28 probes, plus 1 attack for the evolution chamber. Always good to get attack with Zerglings against Protoss. It just seems right. It seems like it's a lot better move than getting armor Now, if your opponent is getting +1 attack with Zealots, then you definitely need the armor for the Zerglings. Otherwise, they will die in 2 rounds of attacks from a Zealot as opposed to 3, which is a huge deal. Very huge deal. Zergling is just kind of poking around, seeing that he is indeed expanding, throwing up a Forge, a second gateway, and he's got a Photon Cannon as well. And, you know, I'm going to scout this Photon Cannon in a second. And I know in my mind that I was not planning on attacking anytime soon, so it's always nice to see someone spend these kind of minerals on a Photon Cannon. It makes you feel like you have a slight edge up on your opponent. And meanwhile, I'm just continuing to drone up. Notice when he expands, I'm not making units. Don't do something in between. Don't make a couple units and make a couple drones if you see your opponent expanding like this after 1 gateway. Either make a shit ton of units and fucking kill him before he can build up a lot of units when he has 2 sentries and 1 zealot, or just make a shit ton of drones. And I chose the drone route, as you can see here. 8 drones on the way, and already it's 45 to 35. It's going to be 52 to 35 harvester count. 36 now. I'm up by 16, and this game is just getting started, so already a huge lead economically. And as we can see, I am taking my Spire and an auxiliary hatchery. The strategy I want to go this game is going to be mass speedling Muta. And with mass speedling Muta, you either have to expand a ton, and get lots of geysers to fund all the mutas that you might want, or you have to get an auxiliary hatchery, because you cannot fund enough. You cannot get enough lings. You will not have enough larvae to get lings if you only have 2 hatcheries. Even if you inject like a boss, and I'm injecting pretty boss-like right now. It's almost popped out, and I only have about 35 energy when it does pop out. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's a lot of sentries though, man. I don't know what mutas are going to do against so many sentries. He is getting a stalker too. And I was streaming, so there was a possibility that he was stream cheating, but I doubt it. I really don't think he would do that. This is supposed to be a fun game. It's not even for anything. Spire almost done. Hallucination has been researched. I are good English. Harvester is still completely lopsided. 57 to 42. Looks like he's stopped training them completely. 100 energy on that Chrono Boost. Oh, this Overseer might get caught off guard. He does get caught off guard. I was able to Chrono Boost or contaminate that Forge, but it doesn't matter. Those Zealots still at +1 attack, and it looks like he's making a maneuver to attack. 7 Mutalisks on the way. I have a nice number of Zerglings, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. This is a huge gateway for us, and if something counters Muta Ling, it's definitely Sentry Stalker with well-placed force fields. Extremely effective. He's got a lot of force fields saved up too, man. He can just hallucinate tons of Zealots. I mean, it's just not looking good. I do realize he is over here. I recognize that his army has moved out, and here comes a Zergling for this extremely weird gateway-looking Xel'Naga Watchtower, and I see his army now at forward position. Food Cat 1 and 2 to 96. I have Supply Cat myself. I'm producing 5 Overlords, and while I am ahead in supply, I only have 1 Spine and Mutas, which are not the best for full-on confrontation. And here we go, trying to get the Zergling Spy, but he's going to surely force field. There's 3 force fields. Nice job blocking up my Lings while he does go down on that Spine. Ew, go down on the Spine. That actually makes sense, too, because Spines have like a penis. And this Queen getting a bit far ahead of itself. And, oh, there comes the force fields. Lots of Zerglings getting trapped in. Production tab showing more Zerglings on the way. These Zerglings do have +1 attack, almost +2 attack. I might have been able to wait for that +2, and they are going in there, soaking up a lot of damage. But these Guardian Shields, so damn effective against Mutas. And actually, it looks like I might be able to clean this up, but no. 5 Stalkers on the way. Mutas overhead, raining down on these sentries. And I had 30 Zerglings on the way. Ooh, he might have missed an opportunity to try to cram his units in the back, do something like that. But he did not. It looks like he's going to wait for another round of reinforcements. I don't like that he's producing a lot of sentries. Sentries, when they have their energy stored up, much more effective. But right now, he's only getting 1 force field all these, and not the best DPS. I would like to see Zealots because he knows I am extremely Ling heavy. He would actually 2-shot my Lings with Zealots, but instead he is going Sentry Stalker. And my Mutas are elsewhere. I thought he was going to pull back, but my Mutas are elsewhere. They're trying to do some harassment, and it looks like he might be able to take this game just because my Mutas are out of position. I had 30 Zerglings. Where are all of them? Looks like I threw a lot of them away just right there. And this is not looking good at all, man. I've got +2 upgrades. I am able to kill a lot of these drones. The cannon actually quite pesky, so it's going to end up paying for itself. Drones being pulled off the line. Zerglings with their +2 doing so much damage to these Stalkers, but it's just not enough. He doesn't even need force fields, and he's losing a lot of Harvesters, though. He's trying to warp in some Stalkers, so if nothing else, those Mutas are delaying reinforcements right here. And there's that first Zealot. That first Zealot's going to be extremely effective, man. These mutas, though, paying for themselves. Harvester count 50 to 27. I'm down to 27. I had to sacrifice all my drones, and it's just not looking good. This CVP has taken a turn for the worse. I am able to harass a lot of his minings, though, so that's pretty cool. 12 lings on the way. I'm trying to store up as many lings as I can. Here come the queens. These queens need to inject. You bitches! What are you doing? Inject the hatcheries, you fat asses. Oh, get the inject! Yes, I do get the inject off. These mutas finally going down to these stalkers. 4 kills and 3 kills. They had that +1 attack and 20 lings on the way, and he's actually running away. I don't know why. Oh, he sees a muta down here. He's actually running away to the choke. He doesn't want to risk being surrounded, so he's trying to use the choke to his advantage, but maybe he's not even watching. Let's check out his camera. I wonder what he's watching right now. He is watching. He's just not force fielding. I don't know why. There we go. There goes the force fields. But lots of damage was done. He's taking out his main. Go back to everyone can. And these +2 Zerglings, so damn effective. And it looks like I will finally clean it up. And, you know, part of that, I have to think, is the mutas down in his main. Those things did so much damage. They forced him to warp down here instead of up here. And as a result, I'm still in this game, and my upgrades are incredible. These are going to be helping a lot if I am able to swarm up a lot of lings and try to do something this game. Now the supply count actually 60 to 58, and that's actually surprising. That's shockingly similar considering what just went down. But we can see he's floating a lot of money, so that could have that could play a factor. He's actually got 5 gateways. He's not warping anything in with. You'd think he'd warp in some zealots right now. So not following up that attack with anything concrete. It seems like he got a bit sidetracked somehow. There we go. There's 6 stalkers. Now he's spending the money, and it's like this Nexus will go down. Oh, these stalkers getting caught out in the field with only +1 attack against Zerglings that are +2, +1. These mutas that are +1 overhead doing tons of DPS. And the Stalkers, just the worst composition for Stalkers to fight. Worst composition. Mutas and Lings. Add Hydras to that, it's even more deadly. And every single Stalker now getting cleaned up. I didn't kill every probe, though. He still got 4 down there mining. And now he is going to warp in one more round. Finally finish off these mutas. And oh, but nice rally. This is a point where you don't want to make drones. You got your opponent on the edge. You want to push him over. You're going to try to take out these proxy pylons with these lings up here. Meanwhile, doing some damage with the lings down in his base. He has no photon cannon, so all he has is 4 stalkers. Now warping in his zealots. Stalkers not good against lings. Stop warping in stalkers. These zealots, good choice. 1 sentry, don't know about that. He's going to get 1 useless force field. I don't think 1 force field is going to make or break anything. Lings continuing to be rallied. There are 2 queens injecting nonstop, and this is why having extra hatcheries is so awesome, man. I just bring on the lings. I'm spending pretty well. My gas is a bit high, but right now I'm not worried about mutas, man. I'm just worried about lings. Continuing to swarm in, and a GG from LaGTTNoMi. Whew. Able to win that game in comeback fashion. I think his unit management up here was a bit too hesitant. I think he could have won the game if he warped in zealots instead. Much earlier. Those would have been 2-shotting my links until I got that +1 armor upgrade. And really not a game I should have won. But, you know, I did. Maybe a couple more spines here. And I actually mishandled a lot of my lings. And I would have been able to defend this first attack because lings are awesome like that. But anyway, I was able to pull it out regardless. Oh, and I have to note, I had this gold base for about 200 minerals on each patch. So that's why I was able to fund 2 hatch with such bad saturation here. If you guys didn't catch that, I expanded about when he attacked, and then I think I transferred a lot of drones down here. So I didn't actually make any drones, I just transferred a lot of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. It showed you a little bit about the power of +2, +1 lings. If you're going to get those, though, you want to pump a lot earlier to face that timing attack. And as always, can't push it. Yeah, there we go. GG. And I got some scissors. Scissors are the new squirt bottle.